Hey, Tim Sykes here. Hopefully this video lesson will go through. I don't have the best Wi-Fi here in Asia, but I'm here just a few more days with my family as we're visiting several schools that my charity has built and is in the process of building. So I'm trying to trade and teach too, but right now for Thanksgiving, we have a little bit of a different holiday than most, but I love it. I'm so grateful to so many great charities that we're working with. Pencils of Promise, Build On. I just actually donated 50 grand more to them. Cambodian Village Fund, I've donated like, what, 85 grand. The Bali Children's Project, I think we're up to like 105,000 in donations. Pencils of Promise, I'm at like 140,000. So donating, building schools, teaching, this is what I love. But right now, I got to talk about these stocks in play. First, before we get into anything, these are my trades today. I'm up around $400, but more important than the $400 that I made, even if I lost 400, there's lessons to be learned. The most important thing is that we have this holiday sale right now going on Profitly with all these newsletters and all these DVDs. And some of you are asking these questions over and over and over again that are answered in these DVDs and video lessons that you're not watching. And I'm trying to have patience. I'm trying to answer your questions, but it gets frustrating for me. Time after time, you're like, why are you dip buying earnings winners? Why are you not shorting them? Well, because if you look at what I do in my strategy, I always dip buy earnings winners. And some people are like dip buying plays like DRYS, even though I'm warning not to, and they're getting crushed. This thing is down 30-35% off its morning highs. Only idiots and newbies are buying this stock when you have this kind of price action, okay? This thing has gotten crushed. It has had hardly any bouncing, and every bounce is smaller. It's like a bouncing ball that's falling off a cliff. I don't mind dip buying earnings winners like CARA because guess what? First of all, I was holding support at 10 when I was buying it. It actually just cracked, so I'm glad I cut losses on my last trade. But dip buying earnings winners works. Remember, I was buying this here in the 7s, and I was dip buying it. And now, it's fading a little bit more just because the whole marijuana sector keeps fading, and I'll get into that. But dip buy earnings winners. Don't just dip buy random stocks. And the key is that you watch these guides, specifically my How to Make Millions guide and my Spikeability guide to see what are good plays to dip buy. If you watch Trading Tickers and you watch Tim Grattani's guide about how to short sell into morning spikes, that's useful. If you watch, even like Bitcoin Basics, or my first few DVDs, which are hugely required, Penny Stocking Part 2, and Penny Stocking Framework, you should be studying all of these, especially during the holidays. You have no excuse not to study. You have more time. I know a lot of you guys have annoying relatives. You can get away from them, and you can study, so it's a win-win. But you got to put in the time. It really frustrates me when you're asking these questions over and over again. That said, so many of you are getting it. I got to just highlight a few students. Miguel, awesome. SKLN was the biggest morning spiker today, and I'm glad that it was automatic for you guys to buy it right when it took out the day high right here, right around the market open. You should have been buying it in the mid 3s, low 3s, high 3s, and selling it in the 4s, 4.5. I doubt I would have lasted to 470. If I had done the trade, I didn't have Wi-Fi, but if I had done the trade, I probably would have gotten in right near the market open at like 340 and probably out at like 380. This wouldn't have even been alertable because it was such a quick morning spike. I didn't have Wi-Fi, so I didn't have that problem. The good news is you guys are studying, some of you, and you're becoming self-sufficient. So props to you, Miguel. I have so many students to congratulate. Devin, look at this. He says, I'm not the guy to toot my own horn, but thank you, Timothy Sykes, for yet another one. I'm getting better. SKLN. He was in at 380, out at 580. Just 100 shares, but that's a freaking awesome trade, Devin. And I'm glad that you're learning that, even with what you put in 380 bucks and you come out with 580, that's a good gain in what, like an hour or something. I would be a little more careful though. I like your gain, but I don't like how much risk you're taking. Normally 380 to like 480 is good enough. So don't feel like you have to do this because most of the time you're not going to get these huge run-ups. You got to take profits a little quicker. But awesome job this time. Iggy, I love this. He says, cannot thank Tim enough for opening a whole new world for me. Yet another good trade. So grateful to Professor Tim Sykes. Thank you, Iggy. Thank you for studying. I'm glad. This is all I want. I want to show you guys this path. The whole world talks shit about penny stocks. What patterns to buy, how they're like unpredictable. Guess what? This company got approval for their product. It's a low floater. It's a former runner. It's got all the makings of a spiker, and it's spiked for multiple days in the past before. I wouldn't necessarily be chasing it now in the fives, but when you have that morning spike, I'm so proud of people like Iggy and Miguel who are seeing it on their own. Lee probably had one of the best trades. Look at this, in 265, out at 467, making $1,400, and he's using stocks to trade. Awesome, awesome job, Lee. Stephanie made $100 in 5 minutes. Day Trader 99 made good money, and this was a good trade. Making 50-60 cents on SKLN. That is a good trade. That's what I would have done. Ralph made 380 in 15 minutes. Danny Boy, I love this. He says that my teachings are changing his life. 1,500 pounds in 3 days. So that's like what, $2,000, $2,500. Good job, NV. This is a good trade, buying it at 330, out at 364. This is very similar to what I would have done. So you're making a little money, but more importantly, you're learning the patterns that work, and that's all you can ask for. Dennis nailed the breakout on OGEN. OGEN had a big morning spike. All it takes is a morning spike. Okay, it doesn't matter where the stock closes. If you can sell it into the morning spike, then you do that. So props to Dennis for making that. Sniper Trades made 1,400 on SKLN. Jordan, he's a new challenge student, and he was in OGEN and he made 300. Good job. I didn't even trade at OGEN, by the way. Mark, so you guys are becoming self-sufficient, and I love showing that. Mark was in OGEN, in at 76, out at 92. And he's thanking me. So some people who don't study and they don't get it, they're like, why are you thanking Tim? He didn't trade that. Because I teach you guys to be self-sufficient. I don't want you ever following my picks or alerts or any picks or alerts of anybody else. You need to learn different patterns and see what works for you and what doesn't, because we're all different and we have different personalities. So some people are like confused by this. I get like questions. They're like, why is he thanking you? You didn't make that trade. Well, unlike pretty much every other chat room and guru, I don't just give alerts. I teach how to trade. And that is a very big difference. So all of you guys who think that alerts are the most important thing, you're wrong. It's lessons and mindset and strategy. And if you watch my DVDs and video lessons more, you would realize that. Raphael, good job on SKLN, making a little over 50 cents. Timothy made $154 in 15 minutes. Sniper Trades made nearly $2,000. AIJ made $254, and he chased a little. That's good. Recognize that. Robert made some good money on SCON, which was another spiker. Too many plays, too many students. AAQ, good screenshot right here on SCON, $1,500. And Dwayne in at 334, out of 4. This is similar to what I would have done. And he's only trading 10 shares. I know a lot of people will say, oh, it's not even worth it. Dwayne, don't listen to that negativity, okay? I'm proud of you. If you have 1 share, if you have 10 shares, if you have 100 shares, it's all about practicing good habits and learning how to spot this stuff early on. Later in life, you can scale up as your account grows. Maybe you add to your account. But the cool thing is that you just nailed this play, and you made 20% in under an hour, which most, quote, Wall Street pros are searching how to make 20% in a year, and that would be a good year for them. So recognize that these patterns work. Recognize that it's okay to do it with small trades, even if you're paper trading and you're not even making any real money, as long as you learn and you witness. Remember, you have to grow your knowledge account before you grow your monetary account. I know I still haven't done a video lesson on my knowledge account. I still have to add to Trader Checklist. I'm behind on everything, guys. But right now, for Thanksgiving, my family and I, our main mission is these beautiful kids. And I'll post so many photos and videos soon of us visiting the schools. And I played soccer with these kids. It's awesome. I wish I could share it all in real time, but Laos really doesn't have good Wi-Fi. And then Gilberto made some good money on SCON, in at 261, out at 316. Again, making roughly 20%. So feel very, very proud, those of you who are getting it. You know, people like Lee, biggest trade to date. I know that's going to motivate you. Iggy, you know, making nearly $700. Just study, okay? Use this holiday sale. It's just a few more days with all these DVDs, all these video lessons, and different newsletters. Some of you guys are asking, like, can I get a discount on monthly subscriptions? No, we only give the discount to annual subscribers because education is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're not going to learn everything you need in a few days, weeks, or even a month or two. You have to be serious about your education. And if you are, I'll teach you all the rules that I know. But some of you guys really need to get on the right track. So that's why I have to say it in these video lessons. Those of you who aren't on the right track, I'm sorry that I have to keep repeating myself, but I get so many questions, so many people who just don't get it, and they think that it's all about following hot picks. It's not. All of my millionaire students are self-sufficient. None of them give a shit about what I'm trading. They'll think about it, they'll look at it, they'll be like, oh, Sykes is trading this. Okay, here's the good and bad of that. I mean, I was wrong today, FYI. Those of you who were seeing my trades on CARA, I was dip buying it. Sure, it bounced a little bit for like 30 cents. Okay, so I was right on that one and I made a little money. But I was wrong dip buying it the second time and it failed to hold support at 10 and it was a big drop. The good news is it's okay to be wrong. I was out long before this drop. I was out in here when it couldn't even hold 10. Okay? And so I was out just after 3 p.m. Eastern, and the big drop didn't even come until 3:30 p.m. Eastern. So plenty of time to get out if you recognize the signs that that it's wrong. You know, you don't necessarily have to wait for the crack. Some of you are asking, Tim, why did you get out, you know, at 998? Because it wasn't trending in the right direction. It wasn't bouncing. It's gradually fading. And the overall markets, you know, here's the overall market. The overall market is uptrending. So why is CARA downtrending? I don't know. I don't care. All I know is that it's not doing what I want, so I got out and I lost a little money after commissions. So you don't necessarily have to wait for support to crack just to get out. You don't have to be like proven wrong. Like, okay, now support is cracked, now I'll get out. Because, okay, in this case, support cracks at 990 and you still have, you know, 15, 20 minutes to get out. You got lucky. But there's no reason when it's here at like 987, 984 for you to be holding the stock, even here at 976, because it's cracked morning support. It's trending in the wrong direction. You know, the market is going up. Everything about this stock is acting wrong for longs. And yes, I was wrong about it. Am I embarrassed? No, I don't care if I'm wrong as long as I stick to my rules and I cut losses quickly. I lost like 60 bucks on my second trade and I made a little over 400 on the first trade. It's okay to be wrong as long as your losses are smaller than your gains. And sometimes your losses are going to be bigger than your gains, but hopefully you cut them as quickly as you can. So that way you protect yourself. I hate the thought of some people who are not following directions or not following rules because they're not studying and they don't know the rules. And they're holding it and they see it go all the way down to 950. And they're like, what's going on? I'm not going to be right every single time. Okay? I don't care if I'm dip buying earnings winners at support and theoretically that's a good strategy. Sometimes I'm just going to be wrong and I accept that. The good news is you can accept that too and you can minimize your losses. You really have to understand this is different than like a casino where you bet it all on red or black and you double your money or you lose all your money. With trading, you do not have to be scared of losing all your money if you're willing to cut losses quickly. Now, the problem is many of you guys aren't. You have a small loss and you're like, oh, let me just give it a little more time. Give it a little more time. Maybe it'll come back. And then sometimes it does come back and you learn the wrong lesson and then you never cut losses quickly. And then sometimes you get a big drop like this when it drops from 980 down to 950 in 1 minute. Okay? So I don't want to be in a trade that's going in the wrong direction. When the overall market is uptrending, when the stock theoretically should have bounced off support at 10-ish and it's not doing it, it's sending me the wrong vibes. And you can cut losses. I could have even exited for a few cents a share profit. The few cent a share profit or the few cent a share loss does not matter to me. I was wrong in my thesis and I accept it. But just because you're wrong, that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have a big dollar loss. So this is just one of the many rules. I don't know. This video is getting long. Hopefully I can even post it. This is going to take forever to upload. I'll see you guys in the chat room, but please, please, please use this holiday week to take advantage of our sale and study. Thank you.